series with Evan Van Ness. He's the creator of weekly newsletter on Ethereum, and as well he is founder of Ethereum Ventures. Great to have you here, Evan.
Yeah, good to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, so just after your speech, after your presentation, after Vitalik, so can you tell how did you get into industry?
Yeah, good question. I'm not sure I remember. Let me think about it. I guess I got into the industry when I started this newsletter called Week in Ethereum News. It's weekinaethereumnews.com in August 2016, and it pretty quickly got a few hundred readers, subscribers. So I felt like I had to keep doing it, and I guess it kind of snowballed from there. At the time I was working for an online ticketing startup, and we sold that in the summer of 2017. So then I sort of started doing this full time, and then I've, evolved from there, I guess.
Are you technical yourself?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'd say I sort of like blur the lines between technical and non-technical. I mean, I've written code in my life. I would probably also starve if I had to be a developer. But I don't know. It's not like I've never written code in my life. It's just that it's tended to be more like R and Python and stuff way back in the day.
So you started your newsletter on Ethereum. Why exactly on Ethereum? Like, why do you see the big future for Ethereum?
Yeah. Why did I do that so long ago? I think there were multiple reasons. I sort of felt like it was taking off, and so I sort of needed to create maybe a name for myself, because at the time the Ethereum community was all on Reddit, and I was an anon, and I thought that maybe my anon name was a bigger deal than it was. I don't know. When I stopped posting, nobody cared. I started the newsletter, and I don't know. Everything went from there, I guess. Why Ethereum? I mean, I've been paying attention to Bitcoin for a long time, but really was never convinced on an investment, because to me it's just a meme coin. So.
Bitcoin is meme coin for you?
Oh yeah, 100%. There's nothing that gives it intrinsic value except for the meme. And that was pretty much my conclusion when I looked at it in 2008, before the chain launched. To be fair, there had been a lot of digital currency projects from libertarians over the years, and none of them took off. But I was paying attention for lots of various reasons. Maybe just being sort of libertarianish that read stuff on the internet, and communities that I was involved in were really paying attention as well. So yeah, I was paying attention, and but the Ethereum community came out of the Bitcoin community, but we had a lot of criticisms of the Bitcoin community. And one of them was that we didn't feel like they were very decentralized on a bunch of different things. One was governance, because there was we felt like the lack of multiple clients had given Blockstream a veto. That was one thing. I think there were just various disagreements over, the early Bitcoin community had a lot of disagreements over what the point of it all was, right? And I think today in 2022. Bitcoiners make it out like it was always going to be this small block, meme coin that, obsessed over 21 million. And I think that was kind of far from Satoshi's original goals. He originally shipped some stuff that included some IRC, some poker and whatnot, right? And of course he was interested in building, I forget what was it, Namecoin, but he was not a maximalist by any means.
And did you ever invest into Bitcoin or no?
No, I was very not convinced, just like I am now.
And when you discovered Ethereum, did you get the idea immediately, or did it take some time for you to realize the potential?
No, yeah, I got it immediately. I'd been reading Vitalik's Bitcoin magazine articles, and I was really impressed by his articles. I thought they were really academic seeming and balanced and fair to his opponents. And I was really curious who this 50-year-old Russian PhD computer scientist was. And then I heard about the white paper super early from a friend, I think before Vitalik had officially published it. He'd sent it around and it was kind of circulating a little bit. And I was like, this is what I've been waiting for. But I also found out that Vitalik was not a 50-year-old. He was a 16-year-old, living in a basement in Toronto with his parents. So yeah, that was funny. I was shocked for sure.
So, did you meet Vitalik at the time, or did you cooperate later with him?
No, yeah, I don't think I met Vitalik in person until 2018, maybe. Yeah, I think one mistake that I did make is I never really went to conferences and met people in person, which I think is one of the things which is really can be easy to underrate if you're a tech geek and a nerd, and you don't realize that going to conferences and meeting people in person is another dimension to things. And some of the early Ethereum people really they got hired in the early days by the Ethereum Foundation or whatever it was really because they showed up to the events, and apparently people valued that more than posting on Reddit. Yeah.
And as well, now everybody awaits merge events, the transition from proof of work to proof of stake. What do you wait from it? And as well, in your tweets you mentioned that you think it will be earlier. However, it was postponed always.
Yeah. It's certainly possible to do it today. I think it's if I almost want to go bribe miners to start attacking the chain now, so that we have to do it now. Some of the client devs wouldn't be too happy about that, but it's ready. I mean, it's ready to go. It's even, I think, included in the default in most clients. You just have to maybe change a flag or a configuration somewhere. We're going to keep testing it, but there's been dozens, upward of a dozen trials already, and they've all been super successful. So, yeah, I mean, I think it should happen earlier, is my frank opinion. But yeah, I mean, I think it's easily on track to be in mid to late September.
And what do you think the future for proof of work miners of Ethereum? Will they still exist, or it will be a dead market?
Yeah, my prediction is that GPUs are going to get a lot cheaper. And gamers,
they're already cheaper.
Yeah, gamers will stop hating Ethereum quite so much, and I understand their frustration, and I share it as well. Yeah, I think GPUs are going to get a lot cheaper, and that's great. I just think most miners will, ETH miners will sell their GPUs, and there will be some that go off and mine something else, but I think most are probably just going to sell.
And how will Merge affect the price of Ethereum?
Yeah, that's anyone's question. I think macro conditions, rule the short-term price movements more than anything else, and I'm not going to get into the game of predicting the Fed, but I think that 1559 was a fundamental value accruer for Ethereum, and so is the merge by not issuing so much ETH to miners, and by not wasting so much money on electricity. So I think that in the long term, it's quite clear that the supply is going to go down. We'll see what happens from there. I feel pretty confident.
And how do you see the current market situation?
Yeah, no opinion really. I can't predict what the Fed is going to do, so I stay out of all of that stuff.
But may merge of Ethereum be a catalyst for the next bull market?
If markets are rational, it should. I mean, it certainly seems like it's a fundamental differentiator. Bitcoiners have been talking about sound money for a long time. Justin Drake came up with this meme, ultrasound money, because Ethereum is going to have not just lower issuance than Bitcoin, but negative issuance. So in the long run, fundamentals matter.
Yeah, and And as well, what are the most exciting projects on Ethereum for you? What are the best use cases?
Yeah. When you look into the future, I think it's clear that we're going to be zero knowledge proofing everything on some level or another. Like, is it here today? In some ways it is, but it's really not yet. Like zero knowledge proofing, the EVM is not here today. Like, there's testnets that got announced this week. Those are all super cool, amazing achievements. Congrats to all of those teams. But I think zero knowledge is really the wave of the future, and for developers, it's really something they want to start thinking about and getting their hands on. And it's also much easier to use now as a developer than it used to be. There's libraries that make it easy to use. You can go out and have a JavaScript library that will make it much more simple. Socrates, Circom, what have you. So. Yeah, the future is here, but it's definitely not evenly distributed yet.
And what are your thoughts on other chains?
So I've written some blog posts over the years, which is to say that they say, I think Pareto generally applies in the world. So I think generally something wins and has 80% of the value accrual. I think that will probably be Ethereum, or at least the Ethereum ecosystem. Whether it's 100% ETH or whether that includes all of the roll-up tokens and apps. I don't know if I have a strong view there. I have other chains that I like. I was a seed investor in Near. I haven't sold any of my Near. I think those guys are extremely smart, maybe even Ukrainian, if you will.
Yeah.
They've got some really good devs. They've done some really good research. They're making things really usable. They have a real focus on usability. I think all of that stuff is cool.
The ecosystem is still small, around only 25 dApps built on Near.
I think it's higher than that, isn't it? Things take a long time, right? I think you can count apps in a lot of different ways. I know more than 25 teams that are building on Near in some capacity. But yeah, I think there was some hype bubble that Solana captured by the pumping of Sequolana, over the past year that probably didn't got them some developers. I actually think that was probably good for Near in the long run because it got the right sort of builders. Whereas a lot of the people I saw building on Sequolana were really get rich quick, copying an idea and deploying it to Solana as fast as possible without any sort of long-term game plan or originality. So, I think community values are really important, and I think that's something I like about Ethereum. It's something I like about Near. I don't hold any Cosmos, but it's something I like about the Cosmos ecosystem. I think they have their own little. I don't want to say little, but they have their own subset of culture that I think is compelling.
And can you tell more about your activity in Stablum Ventures?
Yeah, sure. We are a little venture fund that we do first round things, that we are investing in the future of Web3. I came up with that phrase and I'm still trying to figure out what it means. So, whether it's zero knowledge stuff or whether it's something, really interesting in DeFi, people always want to put me into a bucket of DeFi or NFTs, and I think a lot of the DeFi things are built. A lot of those Legos that are they're composable and they're out there, and you really have to do something that is compellingly different, that finds a use case in order to gain users and find product market fit. So. Yeah, I don't know, that's why when people ask me what my focus is, I tell them it's, there's no real focus. It is focusing on the future of Web3 and whatever that may be. I tend to think it will largely be focused on Ethereum, but, I'm open to, other things as well. And, I think it's a challenge in bull markets to make people care about things more than just getting rich quick. And then it's a challenge in bear markets to get people to, be experimenting and trying new things. So that's always the challenge that we have to like face in this industry.
And in how many projects have you invested already, and can you share some of them?
Yeah, one of them is Risk. So that's like it's delta neutral options protocol. So I think the key selling point there is like non-correlated yield. So if you have done the CFA exams like me, you're into portfolio management, then like maybe you really are into like non-correlated yield. So I think that's a really key feature of DeFi, which wasn't really there. They're going live soon. Another one is Karma. They're like online, like DAO contributor reputation score, because it's definitely something that's been missing as a way to like understand who your contributors are, incentivize them to vote, and it's sort of a little like composable Lego in itself, because it's sort of a DAO reputation score. There's obviously some challenges with that, but I think it's a cool little like Lego that will exist. Yeah, I've got some more deals that are closing soon, stuff I'm really excited about. It's starting to, people are asking for more reasonable valuations again, unlike 6 months ago. So like I got a bunch of different things in the pipeline that I'm pretty excited about.
Okay, hopefully to see the success of projects you invested in, and hopefully
Thank
the
you.
expectations from Ethereum Merge will realize.
Yeah, let's end proof of work. Stop all the electricity waste.
Yeah, thank you for exciting conversation.
Yeah, thank you.